So, anyone who isn't from Finland doesn't recognize this, what I have behind me. This is Pappa-Tunturi, also known as Tunturi, Tunska, Papiska. I think only people in Finland know that this Tunturi, Pappa-Tunturi, is a legendary moped. Like, my dad, my granddad have had this, in their driveway. They've been driving this like maniacs. About Tunturi's history, this is an introduction what I'm about to do, but in order for me to highlight the magnificence of this moped and Tunturi brand in Finland, I think we need to take a history lesson. We need to take a ride to Tunturi's history. Let's go.
Tunturipyörä, suosittu suomalainen.
It all pretty much started in Turku in 1922, where there was this company called Pyöräkelleri Oy, which started as like a bike fixing shop, and then they started to import bikes from abroad, and these bikes were called Highland, and Highland translates directly to Tunturi, which kind of where the name came from. They bought the brand Highland, started making bikes with the Tunturi brand, and fast forward a bit to like 1950s, when these bikes, which used to have pedals, now they also had the motor alongside of them. That's how they kind of started to get involved with the motorization of these bikes. My Pappa-Tunturi from 1963 came right after the overspeed scandal that Tunturi had. The previous models were too fast. They were so fast, in fact, that they were forced to limit the speed because, police was like... They were forced to limit the speed of these bikes by installing restrictors or something like that. And during this overspeed scandal, Tunturi earned many nicknames because of it, and one that kind of stuck and remained was called Korttelin Kunkku, King of the Block, which kind of, has a nice ring to it. Tunturi as a moped was a way for, working class people to commute to work, as I previously mentioned, but still to travel around the country. So it kind of shortened the distances between, people and cities and all that. And the cars were kind of expensive. It was a cheap alternative. And one good thing about Tunturi is that they were kind of designed to endure like the rough terrains of Finland, and also like the Arctic coldness that we have. So the mopeds could run all summer and all winter with no problems at all. That's kind of what made it, so popular. Fun fact about Tunturi's tarakka, or the rear rack, it was perfectly sized to fit like a kaljakori. I think it's a key consideration on a moped that firstly goes way too fast with the overspeed scandal, but to have a perfectly sized tarakka for the kaljakori. And that's part of the reason why I have the hardball tarakka for it, because it kind of fits the theme, and also it fits perfectly into the back of the moped. So 1970s came and Tunturi started to make other mopeds, like more sportier ones, and they still did manufacture the Pappa-Tunturi, but they also started to make the sportier ones, and they were trying to, capture bigger audience, like get more young people involved. That's kind of like where the Pappa-Tunturi name came from, since all these young guns were driving these sportier, newer models, and they were mocking older people for driving the older model, and they were called Pappas, Pappa-Tunturis. It's funny because that's kind of a legendary name nowadays. The name stuck. Fun fact number 2. Even Santa Claus, who is from Finland, uses Pappa-Tunturi. Check this shit out. Yeah, that's what's up. Then we move forward to the 1980s, closer to 1990s, and in 1987 the last model of Pappa-Tunturi was manufactured. Tunturi had some newer models as well, but somewhere around there they kind of let off the gas on the moped side of things, and Tunturi has made a lot of other stuff for addition to the bikes or the mopeds. They have made like gymnasium related things to get your workout going. But one that struck me the most was an electric lawnmower. I mean, nowadays it's pretty common. They were like ahead of the game, but I don't think the long power cord running behind that was not that convenient. But still, nowadays it would make total sense for Tunturi to start making those again. Since the battery technology wasn't there yet back then. And today, Tunturi still makes bikes, electric bikes as well, but they have pedals, so they're not like fully going on forward with the electric moped side of things, as far as I know. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to do this, because I wanted to have an electric Tunturi moped. And I hope if anyone from Tunturi is watching, this is a market that you should tap into. Like, you see a lot of like electric mopeds nowadays. I think they all come from China or something. I have seen a few of them from USA, but still it's having a homemade, not a homemade like I'm doing, but a domestic electric moped with the legendary status of Tunturi that it has to us Finnish folks. Pappa-Tunturi's legacy still lives on, especially here in Finland, because there's like a fanatic groups all about Pappa-Tunturi's and Tunturi's old mopeds in general. They have meets and stuff like that, so there's like a bigger community. It depends on who you ask, but Tunturi mopeds has the same status that classic cars have. But yeah, that's kind of my take on Tunturi's history. I'm not a professional on this. I did some research, I did some fact checks, but the main point here is I wanted to give you like an overview of what Tunturi is, where it came from, where is it now, and how this all relates to this project I'm doing and why I want to do this. So I hope you enjoyed, I hope you got some out of this, and if you want to learn more about Tunturi, take a more deep dive to its history or its cultural impact, let me know. I'll make something happen and do a more proper deep dive on this subject, because as I was investigating this, I kind of got into it in a way, because I also learned parts from Finnish history that I wasn't aware about, and I think that's that's healthy for all of us to learn something from history. Anyways, that's all, folks. Let's get back to the workshop. So this is Pappa-Tunturi from 1963. So this is like 62, almost 63 years old. I bought this 3-4 years ago or something, and it's a skeleton. It doesn't have a motor. It has all the wheels and brake levers and all that stuff. I don't know how long has it been since it last run on its own, because of the motor situation. Excuse me. Because of the motor situation. I do have the motor somewhere in here. Let me grab it for you. So this is the motor. It's pretty much empty, but yeah, nothing inside. So this won't run anymore. But the neat thing is I'm gonna make it run with electricity. I'm gonna convert it to electric moped.
Nyt ei tarvita turhia vekottimia.
I'm probably gonna keep it under, law and legislation. Keep it under a certain power limit and a speed limit, so that I don't need to register it. I don't know the exact history of this specimen here. I do have this like a certificate of the moped itself. You can take a closer look there if it just would focus. I had to order this just to make sure that it was legitimate. And just to know a small piece of its history, it did go to Jyväskylä from the factory 1963 in April, and I have a heart for Jyväskylä since I kind of grew up in that city. Anyways, now I have it here. The plan is this simple. I know that I'm missing rear axle and a motor, and with electric motor I need a battery and a BMS. I might need to replace or at least check that the brakes work currently, because I don't think they actually do. And also I need to might get like a throttle kahva. But yeah, some few things, but I do want to keep it looking at as original as possible. I'm not gonna mount the empty shell of the engine back on. I'm gonna put some kind of box to that place, maybe hold the BMS. Also, I might put the battery in the back of that thing. I have a basket for it. Wait for it. Oh shit. So yeah, I have this Hartwall basket that I'm going to put in the back of it, like so. I have an idea what I'm gonna do alongside building this, but I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna buy for it, as the motor or all that stuff, where and how I'm gonna put it all together. That's somewhat new territory for me. I haven't assembled any like motor, battery, BMS systems by myself. Few things about the ideas about it is the motor itself. This is a big question for me, because there's basically two ways I could do it. The first one is being the like the original method of doing it, and that would be to mount the motor to the middle and put some kind of a chain or belt around it, and then pull it all the way to the back tire, just like a regular moped. The second option, which sounds more maybe a bit simpler, would be to put the motor directly to the back wheel. Like, motor in the back would be part of the axle, but I guess that's more expensive way to do it. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below which way should I go, because honestly I don't know. And that's a rhyme. I do like rap, by the way. Big fan of hip hop. I digress. Those are two options for the motor. For the battery and the BMS, I don't know any options for BMSs. I'm just gonna look up for something and buy it and try it and see if it works. But I do need to keep in mind all the voltage and amperages and those kind of things that, you know, happen in the electric world. And about a battery, I might as go just the, you know, cheapest I get, just to make it like a proof of concept. Maybe like a used car battery. Those are 12 volts, so that might be an issue, since I might wanna up the voltage a bit. But yeah, as I said, I don't really know how I'm gonna and what are the exact parts, but I'm going to investigate. The goal for this moped is to be somewhat good range, like 40 kilometers would be plenty. The speed I want to go is, you know, legally 25 kilometers per hour is the max speed limit. After that, if you want to go faster, you need to register it and have an insurance on it and have a helmet. Probably I'm gonna do multiple videos on this. I'm gonna buy all the parts, I'm gonna put them together, test them, see where that takes us or me. You know, do I get shocked or not? I do have some experience, you know, in small electrical work. I have built a solar panel system to my summer cottage. So yeah, check that video out too once it comes out. So yeah, I have a bit background on electrical stuff, so I'm not like a complete newbie. Hopefully all things go well and I'll make a great bike or a moped. Fun fact also, my first moped, how many years ago? 20 years ago, was also a Tunturi. It was not this one, it was a white Tunturi Sport DX. Image somewhere here. In Finland you can drive 45 kilometers per hour legally on a moped. That beast, it went all the way 40. So -5 the legal limit. Still, it was a great moped. Maybe that's part of why I wanted to buy this one, and also kind of a reminder for Finnish folks watching that this legendary beast still exists. Also, I'm gonna, you know, totally commit a crime in that sense, and I'm gonna turn this gasoline powered moped to electric one, and Tunturi purists will probably give some hate for that to me. But yeah, this is probably not the video for you then, if you don't like what I'm about to do. So just to quickly show you what we got here. So there's the front wheel, There's brakes in here, they're inside this drum. I had no idea will they work because they're not really connected to anywhere. There's a part missing here, maybe that's a Tunturi logo or something. But I do have the headlight, which is nicely cracked, but it'll work. I do have the speedometer here, which shows that this specimen has been driven almost 8,000 kilometers. And if you look at the speedometer again, you see that it goes all the way up to 60 kilometers per hour, which I would say is pretty optimistic. I mean, considering the engine size, which is by default it's 50 cc or 50 cubic centimeters, so it's a small one, and as I said, only goes like 40-45 kilometers per hour. Here's the bench. I probably need to restore this as well, and it's really hard to sit, like there's not a lot of cushion. Only cushion you have is, you know, on you. Here's the box I'm gonna probably use for the battery. That's the original Tarakka. That's gonna probably go there to keep the battery safe, and that would fit perfectly like a car battery. Lithium ion battery would be even better, but we'll see how far the budget will take us. So that's pretty much where the engine used to be, and there's the gas tank. It's pretty loose, one might say, so I need to fix it and secure it in place. It's still, you know, usable. There's like nothing in there. I was thinking about cutting a hole into it and insert a display, or maybe the BMS system, or maybe I just want to leave it like that so it looks original. And this is the back tire of the wheel here, and as you can see I have this patent pending, so it's like a metal pipe strapped on with, you know, zip ties for good measure, just to hold the wheel in place. So I need to replace this axle anyways, and that's why I was thinking about the rear hub motor, or the axle motor that would be here. That's the second option. The first options would be the easiest, so just to have the motor here like in the original version, and then have a belt or chain go all the way here, and have a ratas wheel here that gets the power from the motor. But yeah, that's about it. Many thanks if you watched this far. Many thanks if you want to subscribe. Many thanks if you liked this video. If you didn't, let me know down in the comments why you didn't like this, so I can improve. But if it's just a hate comment, let it come either way, because that'll you know, boost the algorithm and I get more views. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this up.